touchdowns with just 1 interception in the last 5 games. Brady has been spreading it around with multiple touchdown passes to a league-high 6 different players. Mike Evans leads the way for the Bucs with 6 touchdown catches this season. But with some Bucs banged up, Tampa Bay has added 7-time Pro Bowler Antonio Brown, officially signing him to a 1-year deal on Tuesday. He's eligible to return from his 8-game suspension next week against the Saints. Head coach Bruce Arians with Lisa Salters a short time ago.
Thank you very much, Susie. Coach, since week 3, Tom Brady has thrown an NFL most 15 touchdown passes. He says he's feeling more and more comfortable in the offense. You've said you're still a work in progress, which should be scary for other teams, but how close do you think you are to where you ultimately want to be?
I don't think we'll be there maybe till next year. I mean, each week is such a new entity. What we're trying to do with the game plan, what he likes to do, and meshing them together. It's a lot of fun, but having all that missed time, I don't know if we'll ever catch up.
Now, of course, the big news this week, you guys signed Antonio Brown. Why do you think that AB is a good fit for your team now when maybe a couple of months ago you weren't so sure?
Well, we were real healthy a couple of months ago, and the injuries we've gone through with our receiver core, we just needed some insurance. And when you're losing Pro Bowl players, and very seldom can you ever replace them with one. And somebody that I think is going to buy in and adapt to what we want to do. So we pulled the trigger, and we're kind of excited about it.
Now, we always want to talk about your offense and TB12, but Todd Bowles has your defense really clicking on all cylinders so far this season. What's going to be the key to attacking Daniel Jones tonight and the Giants' offense that has been struggling?
Oh, keep him in check. We just cannot let him get out and scramble and make plays with his legs. I mean, he's got 40, 50-yard runs in every game. We've got to handle the read option, but we really have to handle him and getting out. We have to have good discipline, not let him get out of the pocket and make plays.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck to you tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Coach. Steve, Brady really echoed Arians, like work in progress. And not just the challenging offseason, but then receivers being hurt in and out of the lineup. It's like really taking him time to find his groove. But what are you seeing?
I'm seeing like Peyton and Tom changed the relationship between wide receiver and quarterback. It became more Jedi-like. Like they expanded on it so that you have variations on every route, not just man versus zone, but inside of zone and man. There's all these implications that come on how body language and how you read it. And early in the season, you saw Tom, not 12 padded practices, not enough time for the Jedi to get that connection. You saw in week 2. Like, this is just simple July quick outs. These are square outs that you throw 1,000 times, Randy, in a summertime. And you know that doesn't happen. And Tom just wasn't, it was just so rusty. And then here's the second time, week 4. It's still part of the preseason, Steve Young preseason, the first 4 weeks of this year. And he's just like, it's just timing. It's just have a sense of squatting corners. Quarterback's not really up to speed. He doesn't have a sense of where that receiver is going to be. But then by week 6 and week 7, you watch him, he starts to drop the dimes. All of a sudden it's like, oh, the Jedi mind trick starts to happen. And that communication, because Tom is relentless. He starts in July or back in June or when he was sitting in the park in May when he got caught. Every second he can be with his receivers, there's one now. There's an adjustment. When people start to get a sense of where to go, that Jedi kind of relationship starts to really, and that's why this year, you got to look at the second 8 games. Why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are thinking he's the most complete team in the NFC. You gonna say that, Boog? No? Maybe. If they are, it's only in another month. It's just going to get better and better and better.
And Bruce said, because Tom is so familiar with every opponent they face too, each week, like Tuesday and Wednesday, he's sending Byron Leftwich and Arians like 4 or 5 plays. Like, I know this is going to work against this opponent, and they put that into the game plan too. I mean, true collaboration.
Yeah. No question about it. And that's why I think he's enjoying this offensive, from a head coach perspective. You know, Bill Belichick for years, defensive-minded. It's fun to have an offensive-minded head coach where they can collaborate and he can call the shots authoritatively in the locker room. This is what we're going to do. I bet you Tom is having more fun than he's had for a long time.
Loves Bruce Arians' aggressive style. Like, go deep, like whenever you want, go deep.
He seemed to also love when he got called out by Bruce Arians in week 2. Everyone's like, ooh, is that okay? I think Tom loved that too.
All right, let's turn it to Antonio Brown, who Bruce Arians said looks great physically. He can start practicing on Wednesday. Now, Arians admitted that this wasn't an easy decision, but he really put it to the team. And every player on the team who had a voice signed off on it. And as we've heard, including Brady, Adam, I mean, really, what's the true risk here of signing Antonio Brown?
The amount of guaranteed money that Tampa Bay gave Antonio Brown matches the amount of leeway that they will give him. Zero guaranteed money, zero leeway. If anything happens, if there's any sort of transgressions, any sort of behavior that they object to, they'll simply walk away from him and release him, and there'll be no ramifications because they gave him no guaranteed money. And so it's a pretty simple solution here. They know how well he connected with Tom Brady in the brief time they were together in New England. They know they've had injuries. They know that they are a legitimate Super Bowl contender, and somebody that has been as dominant as AB can help take them over the top. And so you bring him on, no promises, no money. If he behaves, if he plays, if he performs, he continues to do that. If not, cut your losses and you walk away.
I have two questions for you, Randy. One is they insist it's the most unselfish wide receiver room, and all the guys in the room signed off on it, that it's not about stats, it's just about winning.
Yes.
AB signed off on it too. So first of all, how do you feel about another guy coming in the room at this point?
Well, I never did feel that Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, that receiving core was a selfish group. And one thing that BA said during that little interview right there, he said that we're losing Pro Bowl wide receivers and we're able to replace it with another Pro Bowl wide receiver. So I think BA is thinking of his offense of, like you said, Steve, in a couple more weeks and another month from now. He's thinking about that offense going to another level. So I like AB, and I like the guys to be able to sign off on a player such as AB.
Yeah, that's rare to be able to replace a Pro Bowl player with a Pro Bowl player. What about from the standpoint of Brady and just the impact? You joined the Patriots and Tom Brady. What this means for Antonio Brown joining Brady for the second time?
Well, let me, y'all give me a few seconds here. When I came from Oakland, from an emotional standpoint, Susie, I didn't know if I could play the game of football at a high level. And everybody hears